and I'm going to give him a whole bunch of very good units. Well, shall we say, I'm going to give him a whole bunch of units that I just acquired. So whether they are tier 3 or below, I'm probably going to be giving those to him. Get him! Yeah! It's 30 damage, are you serious? From a couch lance? 30 damage? Hello and welcome back to the Ronin, and I have come across a very large battle indeed. I actually had a different plan in mind for this episode. Basically what I wanted to do was try and form a reasonably large army, because obviously now that we have a couple of companions, rest in peace, Ica, that still grinds my gears kind of quite a bit actually, but Unkid did get eliminated, so I suppose that kind of makes sense. Anyway, the point is, I think the reason why we had a bunch of people defect from the Tetsujin is because Unkid died. I know that sounds a bit weird, but I think that's true, because I think what has happened is that Unkid, obviously, he's led a bunch of armies against the Tetsujin. And as a result, he has earned himself the wrath of the Tetsujin. And as a result, that people do not want to join his faction, you know, they're not going to be open to a dialogue or any kind of diplomacy whatsoever because they don't like him. So, generally, I think when the next guy took over, that completely cleared all of the, shall we say, bad feeling between the two factions. And as a result, most of those people decided to leave, which is really bad. That's obviously just conjecture on my part. It's just a theory, but I think that's maybe the reason why that happened. So we need to be very, very careful. Obviously not so much in this battle because most of the enemy are Azurai units only, and we shouldn't have to worry too much about dealing with them as the combat strength dictates that we are not too bad. We're not doing too badly whatsoever. But yeah, anyway, as I said before, what I would like to do is head back to Tetsujin territory. Obviously, I'm not going to show all of this on screen, but I'm just letting you know what I'm actually doing so that you have a bit of a status update on that. But I came across this battle and I thought, you'd probably want to see something this large, wouldn't you? Yes. This is very good. Oh, look at that. We took that guy off his horse. That was really nice. 25% chance for that to happen as well. Gotta say, I really love the mechanics that happen when riders get knocked off their mounts. It's very fluid and it just looks extremely cool when that happens. Because I don't know whether you saw that, but there was actually a rider behind me to the right of me, behind right, and he was knocked off his horse, or he got killed off his horse actually, and it looked super cool for him to get knocked unconscious and literally just fall off. It was very nice. They've done great work on the dynamic animations. Obviously they're not canned or anything like that, they're not scripted, they're just very natural, you know, very natural looking, and it's super cool looking. But anyway, enough gushing about the animations. We're going to now do some poking. Oh yes. Come on now. Let me. Yes, my timing is sometimes really bad, so do apologize for that. But hopefully I will be able to. Yeah, yes, look at that. We took him off his horse. Nice. I mean, that's I don't know. I feel like that should happen all the time. No? Because if you are indeed hit by one of these polearms. Oh, look at that. It is actually it is actually happening more often now, weirdly enough, now that I complained about it. But anyway, the point is, I feel like maybe it should be a basic ability of certain polearms, because spending a perk point for it, I think it's pretty useful, because we've taken a bunch of riders off their mounts, and if you yourself are, you know, in possession of a lot of cavalry, then you're going to be able to have a pretty good time, you know, because if you eliminate and indeed take out a bunch of cavalry, take them off their mounts, or indeed just kill them, then it's going to be much, much simpler for your own cavalry to make, well, to eat them for breakfast, I guess. Anyway, I'm gonna die here. Oh, maybe not. Oh, that was close. That was super, super close. I don't know whether you saw that. Oh. Well. That was much closer than I anticipated, although I kind of had a feeling that that guy would take us out. Obviously, we don't have a shield or anything like that, and actually, mentioning that, I was contacted by a contributor to the mod itself, and apparently, and I did not know this, but apparently there is evidence of, in Japanese history, in the Sengoku period, that Japanese did tend to use shields sometimes. And so that's the reason why there are shields included in the mod itself as well. And the, shall we say not the lack of using shields, that is, it was just popularized by other sources, other forms of media, movies, and so on. And so that's the reason why a lot of people think that shields are not widely used as much. And obviously, they were not widely used, like not every single person had a shield, of course, but they were used. So that's the reason why we have some in the mod here. But anyway, that is very cool indeed that we were able to get into a much larger battle, and that in turn means that my forces are going to be, yes, as you can see, look at him, he's leveling up like no one's business. I like it. Please don't die. Cross your fingers and hope that Nogand does not die, because I'm really worried about that. Yeah, thankfully we've only lost 17 units now. Hopefully we're not going to lose any more than that. Yeah, I mean, about 20 is fine with me. I don't really mind too much about that. Only 22 renown. I guess it's because we did actually outnumber the opponent, so it makes sense that we only gained a small amount of that. But look at our charm skill. Oh, yes. It is getting boosted. It's getting boosted up. Now, I'm actually wondering what I should do about these guys, because here's the thing. This guy, I think, is the leader of his clan. Yes, indeed. So he's a major vassal, so if I let him go, he's going to give me a massive amount of charm skill. And I was actually going to check out a number of the other vassals that I potentially had an option to take prisoner, but apparently I only had that guy. Yes, I only had that guy to select from. So just going to be leaving everyone else, because again, I'm not going to be taking any Aserai units or anything like that, and we are also going to be over-encumbered by the looks of things. Now, someone did actually say that maybe it would be a good idea to get a new helmet, because I seem to get shot in the face and then die almost immediately. Well, yes, I agree. I would certainly say that getting an upgraded helmet would be an idea. However, the problem with that is that it then makes us look much less thematic in the way that I actually want it to look. And I'm just hoping that there are better armor pieces in some of the marketplaces in Tetsujin territory. So I'm hopeful that that will be the case. But if not, I'm not entirely sure what to do, because I don't really want to get shot in the face and then die instantly. I mean, it is very realistic, albeit somewhat frustrating, but still, I don't know whether I can really bend the rules in that way, because generally they are self-imposed. The rules are, well, technically rules are meant to be broken, aren't they? I mean, that, as the saying goes, they are meant to be broken, but the point is, I would like to keep to them as much as I possibly can, because that's generally what I like to do. And if I break them all the time, then there's no real point in having them then, is there? But I suppose what I'll do is I'll just, as I say, keep a lookout for them, and maybe if I'm able to, I would like to maybe fight some of the defectors that left for the Aserai, because that's going to make a big difference to potentially being able to scavenge a little bit of loot from them, and maybe even getting some amazing armor from them or something like that. That would be pretty cool. Now, a number of you actually gave me a really good idea, and thank you very much for this. It's to do with the smithy. So I'm going to be taking a look at the smithy in just a second. Okay, apparently we don't need any of these things, so I will indeed sell them. And we're probably going to be selling most of this stuff as well, because I don't think anyone needs any real upgrades. I mean, yeah, maybe they need some upgrades here. This is a small upgrade. What about this guy? He probably needs he needs a much bigger upgrade, and he is our surgeon after all, so we really do want him to have really, really good armor. We want to make sure that he lives as much as, you know, as much as he possibly can. And otherwise, I think that's... Ooh, wait a minute. Yeah, but thematically, this is so much better than what he's using. But thematically, this is... I mean, just look at how much better it is. Even of my own armor, it is just so much better in terms of weight, in terms of leg armor, in terms of arm armor. Basically, every single thing is better about the Southern Robe. But I don't want to use it, because it's going to make us look completely, well, basically ridiculous, because we're not going to look like a Tetsugen vassal, and that's exactly what I wanted to look like. So, you know, you can't have an Azurai vassal running around Tetsugen well, I suppose you can, technically, if you're the Azurai, of course, because they're attacking us all the time. But, you know, you get my point. You get my point. Anyway, we're just going to sell a bunch of these things. And we're not going to bankrupt them or anything like that, but we're just going to sell a bunch. And now, here's the thing. The tip that you gave me was to scroll all the way to the bottom. And as you can see, these are all of the Japanese-oriented weapons. And so thank you very much for letting me know about that, because I had no idea. I thought, hey, you know what? Even the base game has these kinds of errors. So I was thinking to myself, oh, you know, there's not going to be anything here that I need to really look at. But yes, you can actually make your own katanas, which I am really, really loving. I think that's super cool. So, as you could see, if I go to the one-handed here, swing cut damage 57. That's actually really nice. Swing speed is also insanely good. Wow. That is really, really cool. Okay, so we're just going to improve this a little bit. Actually, how do we increase its damage? That is... What's going on here? Look at this. If I reduce the size, it reduces the cutting damage, but if I increase the size, it reduces the cutting damage. If it's only if it's in this one particular area that it's at 59 cutting damage as a one-handed. That is actually rather interesting. Okay, so what else do we want to go for here? Okay, so crude, iron, steel. Okay, seems good to me. There's actually a fine steel katana blade, which I would love to be able to use, but obviously not at the moment. Don't have access to it. And there are a number of other things that I will be able to use. Ooh, look at how cool that looks. Oh, I like it. Okay, so what does this actually give me? Gripped hilt. Okay, so what's better? Well, quite obviously, this one is better for damage. This one's better for handling by the looks of things. So we're just going to... What does this actually do? Not much. Cutting damage... And that doesn't make much sense, really. Let's go for... There. Let's go for that. That seems pretty good. And what does the guard do? Let's have a look. Okay, just changes the weight a little bit. And it also changes the cutting damage slightly. Okay, let me see if I can get that. There we go. 82 cutting damage, I think, is pretty decent. And it's 59 cutting damage as a one-handed weapon. So I think that seems pretty good. Unfortunately, it is going to be an extremely high difficulty weapon for us to create. So it's probably not going to result in anything amazing. But we're going to see... I have no idea what to call it, to be honest, because here's the thing. It's not really something... I don't think I'm going to use it, because it's got a -2 to swing cutting damage, but I would like to, because it is, again, fitting the theme quite nicely. So I'm not sure what to go for here. What about... I don't know. What about Wind Slash or something? I have no idea, really. I'm very bad at naming things, as we all know. Okay, so I'm going to make one of these, and then I'll make another thing, and I'm going to call it... You know, it's really irritating. I have a lot of names that I think about, you know, prior to the recording or whatever for potential weapons. And in just, you know, in just my off-screen time, I think to myself, oh yeah, that would be a cool name for a weapon. And then I just cannot remember them ever. Isn't that fantastic? Yes. Okay. All I can think of is wind now for some reason. So whirlwind or something like that. Ugh, that is awful. Okay, okay, fine. Hurricane Blade. That doesn't make any sense, but we're going to go for that. There we go. I just want the skill points, basically, because we're now at 76 smithing, which is pretty decent. And we can now leave and see what these stats actually look like. Or shall we say, see what they are all about. Okay, so where are they? There it is. Okay, so Hurricane Blades looking pretty nice, actually. Wind Slash is looking... what's actually looking better here? I think this one is better, actually. Hurricane Blade is slightly better, so I'm going to use that. Look at how cool it looks! Oh, I like it. Yes. Yes, I like this. Okay, good, good. I think we did a good job. Slightly. Because, you know me. Okay, so otherwise, did I pick up anything that I can smelt? Yes, indeed. I can smelt a couple of things. Going to be gaining some new parts, which I very much appreciate. And maybe, just maybe, I might be able to get the fine steel or the steel katana blade. That would be really nice. Okay, there we go. That is all done. Fantastic. Alright, so we now leveled up our smithing and our polearms and our steward skill, actually. So we're going to choose something really nice here, hopefully, at least. During village raids, you get an additional food item for each one you loot. Okay. Question. Why is this in the steward tree? Why is this not in the roguery tree? I don't know. Whatever. Doesn't really matter too much. Troop wages are decreased by 25% while in an army as well. Companion wages, the other option obviously is companion wages, and recruitment fees are reduced by 25%. That's also not particularly good. And decreasing gold cost of army creation by 5%. Okay, 5%. Yeah, I'm going to go for efficient campaigner because the troop wages being decreased by 25% while in an army, that's actually pretty good in my opinion, so we'll take that. And then with the smithing, we're going to probably go for Steelmaker 2. Yes, indeed, we are going for Steelmaker 2. And then we have polearms here. Okay, so increases your swing speed with polearms by 5%, increases your thrust damage with polearms by 10%. Going to go for swing speed with polearms because I think, personally, I'm probably going to be using a Naginata relatively soon. And you may think, well, why are you going to do that? Don't you like, doing the couch lancing and stuff like that? Well, yes, I do, but I personally feel like the thrusting ability of the Yari that I'm using at the moment is not as good as I'd like, so I think that changing to a slashing weapon, which I'm much more comfortable with, is probably going to result in much better kills and just generally being much more proficient at it. Okay, so we're going to go for more intelligence here because I'd like to increase my steward max cap a little bit so we can continue to earn big gains. Oh yes, all those big gains, that's what we want. Okay, so look at how much food these places have. It's absolutely insane. Okay, so my capacity has now been exceeded for some reason, so I'm going to have to buy some mules and stuff like that. Let's buy some more desert horses. There we go. Spending 9,000 on that. Okay, well, I could have actually sold a bunch of my weapons, but I think the town itself did need a little bit of cash to restore the money that I had taken by selling all of my, all of my armor and stuff like that. But anyway, as I said before, I'm going to go off screen now, and I'm going to recruit as many units as I can get my hands on, and then I'll be making a party with Nogand, and I will then make him into a party leader, and then I'll ask him to our army, and we'll see where we go from there. Hopefully we'll be able to do some larger battles. Alright, so I haven't really done a huge amount of recruiting right now, but I wanted to show you this. This is a new helmet that I have just found, and basically you can see here that it gives you insane amounts of head protection, which is exactly what we wanted. This is also looking really nice, by the way, as well. This gives you some body armor, which I very much like, and I personally feel like the designs of these are insanely cool. So I'm not entirely sure what to go for here. This gives us a total of, what is it now, 34? Yeah, this gives us a total of 34 protection, and this gives us 38 protection. But obviously if we want more body armor, then that's the way to go. How do we actually see our general protection here? Because you can see, body armor is 50. Yeah, body armor is 50. Okay, so I think that's perfectly fine. I think we're mostly getting shot. Well, technically we're getting shot everywhere, but yeah, we're going to actually go for the really expensive one, and we're going to see how that goes, but I like these a lot. I'll probably return here and maybe buy these for our companions or something like that, but I've taken a look at some of the other stuff as well, by the way, and there doesn't seem to really be anything here that is dramatically good. Not like the helmet, at least. As you can see, there's the body armor. There are the gloves. Do we have any cool boots? Yeah, well, the boots are decent, but not as good as what I'm wearing at the moment, so nothing to worry about there. And otherwise, we're probably going to be selling all of this stuff here, because this is going to offset all of the costs, which is really quite nice. And I also found, if you can believe it, yes, I also found a fine steel katana here, which is fantastic, because that means what I'll be able to do is, hopefully, if I go into the smithy, I can smelt that down, and then hopefully gain the fine steel blade from the smelting. So that's going to be really good. And otherwise, is there anything else here that I want to go for? Doesn't seem like it. I might like to buy the falchion, actually. So we'll buy the falchion, and then we will go into the smithy, and I will smelt. Oh, apparently the fine steel katana does not give us that. Well, that's actually interesting then. I have no idea why that would be the case, but apparently it doesn't. Yeah, as you can see, I just smelted it and it doesn't do anything. That's actually really weird. Okay, I have no idea. Maybe maybe there's something else that I need to do? Yeah, look at that. Fine steel katana blade. That's really weird, isn't it? Okay, yeah. This is obviously the polearm creator, and I would love to be able to potentially yeah, this is not really a swinging blade. This is the swinging blade. This is the kind of thing I would like to potentially make. I think the detail on this is really cool as well. So yeah, that would be really nice. But yeah, obviously not at the moment. So again, I'll go and recruit some stuff. I seem to have stumbled upon a very, very lucrative situation. Oh yes. Now let me elaborate real quick just before we head into this fight. Basically what has happened is I was right next to a village attempting to do one of their tasks to eliminate a bunch of bandit parties in the area. As you can see right here, this is the village in question. And I was trying to eliminate the last band of bandits nearby. I don't know where they are, but they're not appearing for some reason. They're taking their sweet time. Anyway, very large army appeared of the Southern Empire, about 800 strong, and I was like, okay, got to be careful of these guys, right? So I was like, no, I'm not gonna get close to them or anything like that. And then out of nowhere, 4 vassals from the Tetsujin appeared, and they did battle with these guys. And obviously, the Southern Empire managed to win because they had superior numbers. The Tetsujin went in with about 300 units, and the Southern Empire had 800. So they were able to do significant damage, so much so that the army had to disband. And as you can see, they didn't even complete their siege. They basically did no damage whatsoever. And now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do an auto-resolve right here. The main reason why I'm doing an auto-resolve, by the way, is so that I can literally just take all of these people and rescue them. Just look at how many really high tier troops we have access to now, just purely for the fact that I did not go in at that exact moment, because I was thinking to myself, should I go in, should I not go in? And I was like, nah, you know, I'm just going to wait here and see what happens. I wasn't actually going to take advantage of the result, because I actually thought that Tetsujin would win, but in this case, we came out super ahead. Like, just look at all of these people. It's an insane amount. And all of these can be placed in Nogan's army. And that's exactly what we're going to do. What we're going to do now. It's great. We basically had a boost, pretty much. We just got boosted like no one's business, and that is insane. So we're going to go for a Yari warrior right there. We're going to level up some of these guys. I have some borrowed troops, by the way, for another quest. And we do need to move this guy a little bit up in the rankings because he doesn't seem to be getting a huge amount of experience where he is right now. So let's just move him around about here. Doesn't really matter where he is, I suppose. I do want to take these prisoners, though, don't I? I don't really want to take these either because they're going to go to... well, they're going to go to waste, really, because I don't want any of my parties to use other units either. So I'm being pretty strict about what kind of units we're using and everything. Do I have enough space? I actually do have enough space if I get rid of a couple of people. So let me actually just get rid of a couple of these, and then I'll just take, well, all of them, apparently. Yes. Okay, so what about tier 1s? I can let go of tier 1s and some tier 2s, and then we have enough space. Yes, we do. All right. So we have a number of, well, armaments that we have available here, but I'm not going to be taking any of them. I mean, I'm going to take them, but I'm only going to sell them. I'm not going to equip them or anything like that. And now we're going to see what happens, because personally, I would like to, you know, murder all of these. So we're probably going to be heading after them in just a second. But first, I need to make a party. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make a party with Nogand here, and I'm going to give him a whole bunch of very good units. Well, shall we say, I'm going to give him a whole bunch of units that I just acquired. So whether they are tier 3 or below, I'm probably going to be giving those to him, because he's going to be able to level those up reasonably quickly in our presence, and that's going to be really, really good for him. And he's going to just be staying with us anyway. He's just going to be staying with us anyway, so it actually makes no difference whatsoever whether he has these or whether he has high tier units or whatever. So that is that. There we go. I now have 127 and he has 66. I think that's pretty good. And now we will create our army. There we go. Fantastic. All right, come on, Nogand. No, don't chase after them, you imbecile. Ah, well, never mind. I'm sure he's absolutely fine to do that. All right, so we're gonna let her go as well. I'm basically gonna let most of these people go, even though I don't know. I'm a little bit dubious about doing that because the Empire does seem to have a lot of units to throw around, and that's definitely not something that I want to have happen all the time, you know, because otherwise it's going to be somewhat problematic. Anyway, we're going to send the troops back. There we go. We're going to gain some charm skill, going to gain some money, and obviously we're going to gain some much needed relation. That's the entire reason why I'm doing any of these tasks, by the way. I did get a couple of those in and out quests, so I basically just went from, where was it now? From here back to Kunosaki, and then from here back to Kunosaki once again. Basically just a super A to B kind of thing. So that was really nice. Very efficient. And otherwise, I think we can probably... Yeah, I think we can... Come on now. Come on. Follow me. Are you serious? You slowpoke. What is he doing? There we go. All right. So now we can chase them down. That's what we're going to do. All right. So now... let's do it. I'm just going to do an auto-resolve because that is the most efficient method. And as you can see, look at all the medicine skill that Nogand is getting right now. And look at all of these units. Just purely for the fact that they did battle with our fellow vassals. This is insanity. Really. Wow. Super, super cool. Okay, so let's go for some more of these guys. Wow, I really actually can't believe that they have so many... What? Tetsujin mounted fire archers? I've never seen these guys before. Ooh, they even have fire arrows. What? I had no idea. These are tier 6? They must be the noble unit, right? Yeah. They must be the noble unit of some kind. That's insane. Okay, wow, I like it. All right, so I'm just going to be taking the rest. And we can always give units, obviously, to Nogand whenever he needs them, I guess. And we're over the prisoner limit now, because most of our people got knocked unconscious there. A crossbow. Ooh, I'm liking this crossbow, actually. This crossbow is looking fantastic. Unfortunately, it is not usable on a mount, which is a big problem, because I very much like doing that. Although, if I level up my crossbow skill, I can probably use most crossbows on a mount. I think that there is that ability in the perk tree. So I think that would probably be really good to aim for. Let me actually just have a quick look. Where's crossbows? There we go. Alright, so let's have a look. Where is it? Increase headshot damage by 50%. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, let's have a look. No. No. Equipped crossbows do not slow you down. That's pretty nice. When you have a crossbow equipped, you take 10% less damage from ranged attacks. That's cool too. There we go. Can reload any crossbow on horseback. There you go. That's what it is. I need 175. Oh dear. That's going to take a while. Alright. Increase relationship game with opposite gender. Increase relationship game with same gender. Same gender because we are mostly speaking to male village leaders and male lords. So that's an obvious choice right there. Otherwise, increase party morale by 2 if the party has more than 7 days of food. Well, we'd certainly have that. And what's the other thing? Increase party morale by 4 if number of mounts is greater than non-cavalry troops. No, that's not going to happen. So foreseeable future is what I'll take at this point. Okay, so we're doing pretty nice, I gotta say. We're doing pretty nice. I'm going to actually chase after the main globule of units. And our leadership skill is just skyrocketing up right now, which is really nice. Okay, we're going to fight this. Okay, we're going to actually go in and fight this because I haven't done a manual battle in a little bit of time and I'd like to be able to do that. So, here we go. We still have the Yari, which I suppose is still fine, but, you know, I would like to get the Naginata made as soon as possible, potentially, because I personally feel like it is more of my kind of weapon, even though I personally find that couching is super fun. I think with a Naginata, it's going to be so enjoyable to slash at units. Get it? Oh, are you serious? Did we really miss that? Are you? Come on now. Oh, Byron, what are you doing? You are absolutely terrible. That's also a reason, by the way. That is also a reason why I'm like, maybe I should go for a different kind of polearm because this is absolutely, I'm being terrible with this one. So yeah, that's also a reason. Okay, so otherwise, oh, they're very far away. Okay, this is very interesting. So I'm gonna tell my cavalry to go over there because I want them to deal with the enemy's cavalry. Let's tell them to charge in now so that they can actually deal with them more effectively. And we are going to be commanding our infantry and archers in different ways as well. Oh, it seems like the enemy has gone into a circular formation. That is not going to save you, sirs. That is not going to save you one bit. Well, you might actually kill me. So I need to be a bit careful. Because we do not have the best armor on. So I am... You know, I'm capable of being killed relatively fast, but as we've seen, it is possible to get much higher protection armor dependent on where you go. I think that's the main thing there. Okay, so there's my people. We're gonna put them into shield wall formation, even though most of them are using two-handed actually right now. And let's put my archers out here. We're gonna put them into loose formation because loose formation is always better for archers, in my opinion. It makes them much more likely to shoot in wider angles, which is exactly what you want. Get him! Yeah! It's 30 damage. Are you serious? From a couch lance? 30 damage? Yes. Get him! That's much better. That's what I like to see. Thank you very much, Byron. Alright, come on now. I'm gonna get killed soon. I am gonna get killed soon. I feel like I'm gonna get killed any moment. Or at least my horse is. Yep, there we go. You lost your horse. Okay, wait a minute. It's time. It's time for us to defend. Ow. Okay, I'm gonna die here. Aren't I? Am I? I might not. Oh, I will actually die. And then they all... Yes. then they all perish after me. Yes, isn't that fantastic? Ah, you know, that's the thing. I was so enjoying myself with the couch lancing and actually killing units that are not prepared to defend against you that I just got a little bit carried away. Oh well, my bad, my bad. Oh well, it's alright, it's alright. Okay, so this guy's actually a major vassal, so we're just going to let him go. As I've said multiple times now, I'm pretty much just going to be letting everyone go by the looks of things. It's probably not the best idea tactically, but generally I'm doing it before the possible relation gain, and obviously the charm skill is just invaluable at this point. Being able to level up your character so fast due to all these experience gains, it really makes a huge difference. And I know I'm going over the troop limit, but we can give some of these items to some of these items. I'm looking at items and I'm like, oh yes, give some of these items. No, give some of these troops to Nogand, so it's not that big a deal. Even though he actually has almost maximum, I think. Yeah, he actually almost has maximum, so we need to be a little bit careful about that. I think I might even need to get an actual additional companion, to be honest. I think that's probably going to be something that will need to be done relatively soon. Alright, I think he is... Yeah, he's actually over now. So let's just take all of his recruits from him. And now I'm over. Ugh. Okay, I'm not entirely sure what to do here. I can level up these recruits into footmen, I suppose. And yep, that's perfect. Okay, that's perfect. And is he over? Yes, he is over a little bit. I'm gonna take away the militia, and then we will just get rid of the militia, I think. Because militia tends not to level up. At least, maybe they do in this faction. I'm actually not sure. So I will take a look at that. Tetsujin, if I could actually spell properly. There we go. Tetsujin militia. They don't seem to level up. These are the veterans, though. So maybe I need to look at the other ones. There we go. Nope, they don't seem to level up. And they have decent stats, but nothing really to write home about. So I am perfectly fine to let them go for now. If I had a castle, I'd put them in the garrison there, but I obviously do not, so makes no sense to me. I mean, makes no difference to me, should we say. Alright, so I am now... I'm pretty good. I feel like we're doing pretty nicely. My leadership skills continue to level up. I'm actually capable of chasing after this guy. I think they are demoralized like no one's business, and it is allowing us to catch up so incredibly swiftly. And there you go. There's another victory for us, and more really good units. I'm complaining now about getting really good units. This is bad. This is a bad thing to do. Should never complain about really good units joining your army. Oh well, never mind. Okay, let me see. We're going to go for more trained footmen. We're going to get rid of... does this guy level up? He does. Right. Okay. Well, I guess we'll get rid of this, and we'll take the tier 4s. I believe that's all I can pretty much take. I can take the tier 3s as well, but I think... Yep, that's it. That is the maximum that I can take. So, yeah, can't take any more. Alright, we need to get another companion. That is quite clear that we need to get another one. And my charm skill is almost maxed out. My steward skill is almost maxed out, as well as my scouting. All of these things are problematic for me. So, yeah, we're going to need to do much more fighting as well, by the way, because my one-handed, two-handed, and crossbow skill is lagging behind dramatically the other skills that we have here. So that's definitely going to need a little bit of work on it. And scouting skill is, in my opinion, really good. So I think I'll probably spec into that. But steward skill, do not pay wages for wounded soldiers. Whoa. Okay, that's harsh. And influence gained from donating troops is increased by 25%. Project boosting is 20% more effective. Well, that's obviously not too useful for me, but I think this one's decent. Charm skill... 10% more influence, 10 more influence from winning tournaments. That's pretty good if you want to affect things really, really fast in your particular faction. But I think I'll go for... do they still have everything has a price in this? Wait a minute. Wait, no, that's charm skill, isn't it? Everything has a... Yes, never mind. No, I mean, that's trade skill. Haha. Yeah, so that's, yeah, that's nothing we need to worry about, of course. Okay, so charm skill and then cunning. That's what we'll do. We'll just kind of balance them out a little bit there, and we'll see how that goes. All right, that's going to be it for this episode. Very, very lucrative, and a nice lot of progression there as well. And so I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.